If you are a beginner in web development or in coding and you want to know about what is Git and why and how to use it, this video is perfect for you. So keep watching till the end to understand how to get started with Git. Hi everyone, I am Kamran. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I would suggest you to hit the subscribe button so that you will always get these kind of useful videos. In this video, we are going to talk about what is Git. So let's say you created a project which can be anything like a small HTML web page or any script and you want to share it with your other developers. Git can help you in this. Or if you are working on a project with some other developers and you want to merge your both codes in one place, Git can help you there as well. Or you're making some changes in your application but that's not working and you want to undo that changes, so you have to keep the track of your code, and Git will be the superhero which can help you here as well. So basically Git is a use for code management. Code management includes management of different code versions and sharing the code with others, as well as making a code pipeline. And to implement Git, we have different tools like GitHub, Bitbucket or GitLab. And by using these tools, we can use Git more efficiently. In this video, I will be using GitHub to explain how to use Git in your project. So for that, first step will be creating a Git account on its official website. So this is how GitHub official website looks like. So I already have an account on GitHub which I use, but I'm going to create a new one with other email ID and I'm going to show you how exactly you can create a new one. So for that you have to sign up here. So in this form you have to provide your Git name, coder959. You can use any username and you have to give the email address. So I have this email address which I use for personal use. So I'm going to provide that. The coder guy 1010@gmail.com, and password whatever you want to keep, you can keep that. You can check out the email preference checkbox. Once you click on the create account, it will create an account for you. So this is how your home page will look like as a user. So now you are logged in with your email and password. This is how your profile looks like. This is your name. You can update your profile image, and this is the timeline. You can edit your profile from here, like the company, location, website or Twitter username, whatever you want to add, you can add over here. Here the list of the repositories will be shown. The repos which you have created all or anybody else have shared with you are going to list down over here. So from here I am going to create a new repository and you can name it whatever you want. So I am going to name it as test HTML GitHub repo. You can add description over here. This is a basic HTML repo to test Git. This is the description of our repo. Now you can add readme file and git ignore and choose a license. So I will explain it one by one. The readme file will be the description which will be shown on your project homepage. So git ignore will be the list of files and the folders which you want to ignore while putting something inside your repositories. I will get into details once I will get to this part of your project. And choose a license. If you are working on some license work, you can add a license from here. And you can even choose whether you want your repo to be public or a private. A private repo is the repo which you only can access, or whoever you add as a member or a contributor to this repo, they can only access this repo. Whereas the public one is it will be publicly available on GitHub and anyone can access this, like download or clone this project and start using it. So let's create this repo. So once you create this repo, you can see over here there are some few commands given over here. Now your GitHub repo is ready and now you have to use this repo on your local machine. So for that, first step will be you have to install Git on your local. So how to do that? So go to Google Chrome or any web browser and type install Git for the OS you are using. For me it will be Windows. So on the official website of Git, so you can get the executable files for Git. You can download it and install on your local machine. I have already downloaded it. So once you download Git on your local, how can you check? you can just simply write git and enter. It will show all the possible commands you can run using git. So let's take a scenario into which we will be needing a git in our project, and then try to tackle that scenario using this git. So the scenario is that you and your friend want to code something, and you are working on a single project, and so you want to create a git and share between you guys. So how can we do that? So let's take a project and share that project between two people, and let's see how it works. So in my scenario, I'm going to use my already created project, which is on my desktop. I have a project name as website. So this will be my project. So in order to use git inside your project, you have to initialize a git. So for that, there is a basic command name as git init that will initialize a git inside your repo. So what exactly does this means? This means that now you can use git inside your project. The second step will be to link that repo which we have created on the GitHub to our this project. So go to the GitHub repo webpage, and here you can find a link. So in order to link your local project to this GitHub repo, you have to run the command of this git remote add origin and link of your git repo. So I'm going to run this command over here. You can run the same command, and instead of this URL, you can add your GitHub repo URL. Once you do this, now your local project is connected with this git repo. So how exactly we have to use this git? So let's say you and your friends are working together on a single project. So what you can do, you can put your code from your local to this git repo, this which is on the git server. And similarly, your friend can also put some code on that. And you can take your friend's code to your local, and your friend can also do the same with your code. So in this manner, both of you can share the code and the changes made by each other. So let's try to do that and see how it look like. So for that, I have to create two different folders, one for me and one for my friend, because here I only have single laptop. So I'm going to create two folders, and I'm saying I will say that in one folder I'm making changes, and in the other folder my friend is making changes. I open a new window of a terminal, and I will be routing to desktop. So here, first, when I share this code with my friend, what I am going to share exactly, I'm going to just give him link of the GitHub repo. This is my repo link. So I'm going to give this to my friend. So what he can do, he can simply say git clone. So git clone will download the repo, and you have to provide the link of the repo here. So the basic GitHub repo is being cloned or downloaded to your friend's local as well. So you can get into this folder, test.html. So you can see a warning here. Yeah, you appear to have cloned an empty repo. So this is an empty repo for now, and you have to put something from your local to this file. So this is my folder. So first I will see like what are the files present inside this. So we have this website.html. So let's open it in a VS Code to see this what exactly code we have inside this. So inside this we have a basic HTML file. So this file we are going to share with our friend. So how to do that? There are 3 steps you have to do in order to put your code into the GitHub repo. So first step will be adding your files which you want to stage. So in order to push something or put something on the Git repo, you have to first stage it. Stage basically means you are committing these files or changes, and you are saying that these things I am going to push or put onto the GitHub repo. So for that you have to add files. So first let's see the status of our project. So for that I am going to write git status. So once I type git status, I will see that there is a file named as website.html, which is in red color. So what red color defines? That it is yet not pushed or staged. So what you can do, so you can add this file to the staging file list. So you are saying that you are adding website.html, git add website.html, and you are saying that this file you will be staging. So once you run this command, and you can again check the status. So now you can see the website.html is in green color. What does that mean? It means that you have counted this file to be staged. Now we have to commit this file, which means you have to put this file into a staging git commit. So this will commit this file or this change, and you have to add a message with it. Message, why we are adding message? So we are going to make multiple commits, right? So we are going to attach some messages with each commit so that we can differentiate between the commits. So in this file you have to add a message, and message should be something which is related to the changes you have made in this commit. Let's say created HTML file. So in this commit we are saying that in this commit we have created the file. So now your website.html file is moved to staging. Now when you check the status, you will see that there is nothing to commit. Okay, so now your changes are in the staging mode. So to move the changes from staging mode to your GitHub repo, you have to run git push origin and the master branch. So master is the name of the branch, and what is branch I will explain later in this video. So here you can see the whole code has been pushed to the GitHub repo. So here once you refresh it, you can see that a new file has been committed to the or pushed to the repo. So now let's see how to get these changes on some other folder. So this is the other folder in which I want to get the changes made by the other developers. So in order to put the changes, we have used push command, git push command, and in order to get the changes on your local, you are going to use the git pull command. So you have to write git pull origin and master. Once you enter, you will see that you have pulled or taken the changes on your local. So here also when you are going to run dir, you will see that you have this website HTML over here. So now I have the changes or a whole code in my next other folder as well. So in this manner you can push it from either of the folders or either of the laptop or anywhere, and the other users can get the changes on their local machine. So till now we have created a repo and we have shared that repo with two different users. So one last time, so this is our GitHub repo, and you can share this repo with anyone by just sharing this link, HTTP or SSH or GitHub CLI, whatever link you are comfortable with. You can share that link with any developer or any user, and then that user will be able to get this code on his local. Now let's talk about the branches. So here at the left hand side you have this drop down, and here we have only one branch named as master. So by default the master branch is created for each repo, and you can create any number of branches from here. So let's create a new branch and try to do something with the branch. So getting into one of the folders, and here I'm going to create a branch. To create a branch you have to use git checkout -b and name of the branch. So for now I'm going to name a branch as develop. So develop will be the branch where all the development will happen, and -b over here defines that it is a new branch. So we are creating a new branch. So once you enter, a new branch will be created and we are moved to that branch. Now whatever changes we are going to do and we are going to push is going to push on this particular branch. So why we use branches? So let's say you are working on a project, you have created some feature on a project. So let's say you have created a to-do list project. First you have created the listing of to-do feature. Now that particular feature is complete and it is working fine. Now you have to develop some new feature. Okay, so what you are going to do, you are going to create a new branch. So on your current branch you are going to push this feature which is working perfectly. Now you are going to create a new branch, and onto that branch you are going to develop a new feature, so that fine working project or a code does not get affected by your current developing code. So that will be two different branch, and the two different branch have never intersect unless we purposely do that. So now you have created a new branch to develop. Now you can do some changes over here. So I will open the code. So this is our file. So I'm going to open my HTML file, and here instead of writing my demo file, I will change it to my changed file. So now this is our changed file. So first we are going to check the status. So this is a good practice to first check the status. So now you can see that this file has been modified. So now we are going to push these changes onto the repo. So first we are going to add this file. Now we are going to commit this file, and with commit we have to add some messages. So we will say that made changes made in title, and once you enter you are going to push this code. So you have to keep in mind that writing git push origin, and now you have to write the name of the branch onto which you are going to push the code. So now we are going to put this code changes on the develop branch. So we will write develop and enter. So this will push the code onto develop branch. So now here on the web page you will see on the list of the branches you will see two different branches. So what difference does it make to the users? Let's see. We have the project in two different folders, so we will check the code of both the folders. So this is the code where we have made the changes, and we also have another folder into which we have the old code. So here you can see why my demo, not the changed website. So I guess you get the idea of the branch from here. So how this other user will get this branch? So let's go to the terminal. Now I want to get all the changes, all the newly created branches on my local, right? So there, let's say there are 5 different developers working on this project, and they have created 5 different branches. Now I want all those branches change on my local. So what I will do, I will say simply git fetch and enter. So this will fetch all the newly created branch and all the up-to-date codes on this local. So here you can see that it is showing that a new branch develop has been created. Once I run this git branch command, I will see I am on the master branch, but I want to switch onto this develop branch. So how can I do that? I can do by git checkout and name of the branch onto which I want to check out or move. So once I run this and again I run git branch, I will see that the develop branch is green. So that means that I am on the develop branch. What does that mean? Like my code is updated to the develop branch, which is the updated one. I hope you get the idea how to share the code between two person, and similarly you can do it any number of users or any number of developer. So you get the idea how to create a repo, how to clone a repo, how to put some changes or push the changes, and how to take the changes from the repo or pull the changes from the repo, and how to create a new branch and how to switch between the branches. So this is all good to get started with Git. So the best way to get used to it is to actually use Git in your daily life and keep practicing Git, because Git is the most essential development tool which you have to use throughout your development lifecycle. Please like the video and do comment how do you like this video and what are the part you didn't understand, so that I can cover it in the next Git video. Happy coding everyone. See you in the next video.